Hello. Thank you all for waiting patiently. We're having some tech difficulties. We usually go live right at 10, and I cannot find Hannah. So I don't know if her internet went out. Oh, she says she's coming now. Okay, she's coming. So she will hop on in just a second here, and let's get going. So Hannah wants to join you on video. Here she comes. Approve. Okay, here she is. She's coming on right now. Today we're going to be focusing on part 2 of why we use food for comfort. Hey.
Hi.
I just started. So Hannah is going to, well, first of all, if you don't know us, my name's Sierra, and this is Sierra Spencer, and this is Hannah Hips. And we are eating psychology coaches, diet recovery coaches. Hannah's a yoga and meditation master. And we love talking about emotional eating, food, how to feel. And we also love donuts. We also love vegetables. And we love all food. So we're going to review, Hannah's going to review part 1. We did why you're using food for comfort. We're going to review quickly last week, and then we're going to dive into today, the second part of why you use food for comfort.
Yeah, so why you use food for comfort. Part 1 was all about the emotional side. Part 2 is about the food side. And so we went over 3 reasons why you use food for comfort on emotional reasons. And those were you want to avoid difficult emotions, you want to feel safe and secure, and then there's this trauma response where you are trying to have control in your life and food becomes that control. So those are the 3 main things on the emotional side of why you use food for comfort.
Yep. So let's talk about the side of emotional eating, okay? So first of all, let's understand the why here. So the first step in understanding why you use food to eat or why you're using food for comfort is trying to figure out whether it's due to an emotional need or is it because of some sort of restriction with food or dieting. This is kind of tricky. So we want you to try to figure out why are you using food for comfort? So, because the thing is, when you place a bunch of rules around food, like I can't eat carbs, I need to only eat anti-inflammatory foods or whatever, what happens is maybe you don't eat enough and you have this really intense need for those cookies, that food, those chips, those emotional foods, right? So it's the same idea. You tell someone they can't do something, and that only motivates them to do it more, right? You've told a kid, don't push that, and what do? They push it, okay? Adults are no different, especially when it comes to food. If you tell yourself or you tell someone you can't have donuts or you can't have carbs, what do you think about the whole time? Carbs. So this kind of eating is overeating based upon restriction or a diet. It's not always the same as emotional eating. So there is a differentiation between emotional eating and being restricted around food, which we're going to talk about in a minute when it comes to emotional eating. So they are different. Quick little, this is like a mind-blowing tip, okay? Mind-blowing fact, I should say. Did you know that emotional eating is exclusively seen in dieters or people with a history of restrained eating? Okay, so what does that mean? That means people that are normal eaters, that are normal around food. Hannah and I, for example, we've done a lot of work on our relationship with food. Our clients that have done our 6-month-long program or longer, okay, they've worked on their relationship with food. They don't emotionally eat anymore. Hardly. Okay, so emotional eating is seen in people that have a history of restricted or restrained eating or dieting. So there's a very strong and distinct correlation that has been seen in research between restrained eating, like dieting, restricting, obsessing about food, and emotional eating. Okay, does that sound familiar to you? Does this making sense?
Yes, it does. So let's talk about the 3 main reasons why you use food for comfort on the food side. So like Sierra was talking about, you're restricting. You're not eating enough food. So oftentimes we're like, I'm not restricting. I'm eating everything. And there's 3, I always like to touch this. There's 3 types of restriction that we're not aware. You might not be restricting that you think, but you are restricting if you're doing one of these things. So physically restriction means that you're actually reducing your calories, you're reducing the food, you're cutting out certain foods. That's physical restriction. Restriction number two is emotional. So you feel guilt, shame, remorse about eating any kind of food. That is emotional restriction, which is going to make you eat more. And then the third one is unintentional. So say you got busy in the morning and you're like 12 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, I totally forgot about breakfast. That's unintentional restriction. So you are restricting food, but it was unintentional. So the number one cause for, I will call it the number one cause for using food for comfort is restriction, like Sierra was talking about. Number two, it's like the lack of slow and relaxation while you eat. Oftentimes we're rushed, we're busy, we're doing so many other things. Food is an afterthought. Food, we want to get it over with. Food, we feel scared to eat it. We had food as the enemy, and yet we got to do this thing that I don't really want to do. That is going to cause a lot of like this using food for comfort, because like you're not giving yourself the time and the relaxation to eat. So later on during the day, your body's like, I don't know, I kind of miss the experience of eating. I feel kind of like I need to like relax a little bit with food. And so you start reaching for this food. That's why nighttime eating is so prevalent with people. And we think that we're using nighttime eating to comfort ourselves, which we kind of are, because our body missed that experience of eating throughout the day. And the last thing is our awareness. So awareness when we eat. So it's very in line with the slow and relaxed eating, but this is awareness is like, are you tasting your food? The smells, the sight, bringing your senses into the meal and actually eating when you eat. Oftentimes when we're emotional eating or stress eating, we're not even tasting the food. It's like it's going down and we have no idea what it tastes like, and we can't really enjoy it because it's fast and furious. When we begin to be more aware and we pay attention to like, oh my God, what is my smell of my food, and look at it with your eyes, it's like you can bring more pleasure into your meals, which is going to give you more satisfaction, which then if you're paying attention every meal, then it's like that is your comfort, right? You are satisfying this mind-body connection. If we're not aware when we're eating, watching TV or scrolling on our phone or working while eating, like your mind is missing that experience. Your body might feel it. And it's like you could eat a whole meal and then like 10 minutes later, you're like, gosh, I'm hungry again. I shouldn't be hungry. I just ate. Well, it's like your mind missed the experience. Your mind and body both have to be a part of the meal. And this is where awareness becomes like this huge part in this process. So if you are aware when you eat, and even if you are using food for comfort for whatever reason, you're aware and you can actually taste it, it's going to be a better experience for you.
Yep. So
often we use food to numb out.
we do. We
did you freeze?
I,
You're kind of breaking up. I don't know if it's you or me.
maybe you talk.
Sort of. I kind of hear you.
Technology.
Technology is weird. I heard that.
So, like Candace, I feel like there are some reasons you can one, restrict that, two, lack of down, and three, aware. So So eating fast and out of control way can put you in the stress response where your digestive system shuts down, metabolism and calorie burning capacity decreases, and this is where issues can come up with our eating. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself, is my emotional eating because I'm using food to numb out and I'm experiencing difficult emotions, or is it I'm still accidentally restricting, or maybe I have some work in this emotional restriction area. If you're feeling guilt or shame around food, restriction might happen. So also because you use food for comfort. The last week, we have a few more days, and power eating inner circle close doors for the year. So I'll have a few steps left for our inner circle. This program is step-by-step processes on how to create a better balance with food and eating, how to feel more confident, how to create an eating plan that actually works for you. No more diets, no more restrictions, but a way of eating that does bring you health. It does bring you joy, because as you know, and you take the leap. It's time to trust yourself and trust us to help guide you in that pathway to feeling more confident and free around food, having a healthier relationship with food and your body and your mind. So if you are interested in talking more about the Empowered Eating Inner Circle, again, the doors close on Monday and then it's done for the year. And it might look differently next year. We're not sure. We're always changing, right? So this could be your last chance. So comment below me, I'm interested. Send Hannah or I a private message through Facebook Messenger, and we will set you up with a call, and we can hop on the phone and get to know each other more and just answer any questions you have through Messenger as well. All right, have a great day, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.